So the peace president, the first thing the old peace president did, he got us into a great big old war. And another thing the big old peace president did is he's backing this insane war criminal, the Bolshevik of Tel Aviv, Palestine there. Let's see, Israel, excuse me, oops, God gave it to the Israelis. Nitwit the Yahoo Milikowski, the mass murdering butcher of Jerusalem. First thing old Donald Trump did, man, is he got us into a great big old war. Hell yeah, of course. And then, of course they shut down the Strait of Hormuz. They don't want the United States Navy battle groups and their aircraft carriers coming up into the Persian Gulf. They got a national security interest. It's to be understood, Pete Hegseth. It's a strategic matter, but let's get to the point of this video. You've got this thing called the Federal Reserve, and they print helicopter bucks right up out of the thin air. Okay, now, who owns the Federal Reserve? Well, that would be a group of corporations, and the Federal Reserve itself is a corporation. So let's see, when you go out and you work for your shekels, you're getting paid in corporate scrip. Like the scrip of the company store. The 1% own the Federal Reserve, and they're paying you with printed out of the thin air scrip. Now, if you're not a slave and a serf, I don't know what the hell a serf and a slave is. They're working for not dollars. I'll tell you what a dollar is. Now, I want you to do your own history research so you'll see that I'm not lying to you. The silver dollars that are required by the U.S. Constitution, the gold and silver provisions, but they were patterned after the Spanish doubloon, also known as pieces of 8. 1 ounce of nearly pure silver. Now, how much is an ounce of silver worth this morning? Yeah, that's why they're paying you in Federal Reserve corporate scrip. Printed up and keystroked into computers for nothing. It doesn't cost them anything. It costs them nothing. Trust me, do your own research and you'll find out that the Federal Reserve scrip is exactly as I've stated it. Now let's move along to who's getting fat-ass rich off all this military budget and all these wars. Is it all Donald Trump's contributors? The same people that were supposed to build the ballroom? Yeah, they were going to donate all that money and build the ballroom. Now you're getting the bill. It's kind of like the wall. Mexico was going to pay for the wall, but, well, that didn't work out too well. Now did it, Donald Trump? And who's getting fat-ass rich, Donald Trump? You and your sons and all your fucking contributors, right, Don Trump? That's who's cleaning up, man. They're cleaning up on this war with Iran and invading and seizing and taking over Venezuela and the blockade on Cuba. Where do you think all the money's coming from to finance that blockade on Cuba? And who's getting rich off the contracts? Would that be Donald Trump's buddies? The answer is, yep. So this peace president is, he's a piece of shit, what he is. He's a liar. He's a flat-out fucking liar. A con man. And, of course, old John Roberts and the Scrotus of the United States is handing him this mythical immunity. He's not immune. He's not absolutely immune from everything. And John Roberts, he's a wall kisser. What do you expect? And he visited Epstein's Island, too. Old John Roberts is an Epstein Island buckaroo, right there, old John Roberts. That's why you got huge numbers of people being protected. Oh, you can't release all the Epstein financial files don't release all those financial files on Jeff Epstein and company. A bunch of my friends will get hurt. Right, Don Trump? Your friends will all get hurt. So the 1% are cleaning up, and the price of everything's going through the roof. Housing, food, gasoline, electricity, dental, everything that you touch, healthcare, going through the roof. Donald Trump's buddies and pals are all getting rich, and, well, you're getting bent over the stump. You are being bent over the stump by the 1%. Nothing's changed. And it makes you wonder, where the hell's Anonymous? Come on, Anonymous. Where's Occupy Wall Street? Where the hell did them asswipes go? Which brings me to the point of Ken Paxton down there in Texas. He had that case in federal court against them land swindlers, remember? And then old Judson, the amicus filer, I filed amicus briefs in that case of Paxton's against the Harris Mafia there out of Conroe. And of course Paxton went on vacation with his mistress. Of course Paxton, $68 million settlement. Where the hell do you think the $68 million is going to come from? You want to call your lifeline? Where's the $68 million coming from? The victims? Yeah. Harrises get to spend money on their own freaking development from the money they swindled out of their victims. And Ken Paxton goes off on vacation with his mistress. Yeah, old Ken Paxton's fucking everything. He'll fuck anything if it pleases old Ken Paxton. Yeah, that settlement of the case in Alfred H. Bennett's courtroom was like, and Ellis too, Ellis's courtroom. They made this settlement for $68 million. Has anybody monitored any of that? Is there any monitoring of how that settlement's proceeding? While Ken Paxton is screwing his mistress on vacation? Boy, oh boy, oh boy, old Ken Paxton, the little mobster, the Attorney General of the state of Texas. He's got more shit in his resume. Old Ken Paxton, he's got more bullshit than the Houston Fat Show. Everybody knows the Houston Fat Show, right? Yeah. Holy shit. The 1% are cleaning up. As old Donald Trump has his cage matches and tears down the East Wing and all these no-bid contracts for this and no-bid contracts for that. Now they're building a helipad on the lawn of the White House. They say it's going to cost $6 million. And the answer to that is, I was in heavy commercial and industrial construction, residential development construction. I don't know, right around 50 years, over 50 years actually. My parents were in development. And the idea that a helipad costs $6 million, oh, horse shit, man. All it is a concrete pad for the damn helicopter to land on, that's all. $6 million? Yeah, and no bid, right? No bid contract. Yeah, buddy, it's all being paid for by his donors. Yeah, you got to give your tithes. You got to give your tithes to the high priests. Right, Donald Trump? Come on, let's ask the Trump boys there, the Trump Enterprises. It's all tithing to the high priest Donald, right? America, you are being screwed right in the ass. Big time by the 1%, old Donald Trump's contributors. You're being anally raped by Jeff Epstein's pals, America, and you better wake up and smell the shit because the 1% are screwing you blue.